afternoon, YouTube. Today, we're going to start the very special project for the TT02 comparison series. This car kit is a discontinued model, and we're going to build it out of a TT02R. Here I have a box stock, still sealed, unfinished, unstarted TT02R. But what we're building is going to be the TT02RR, which is discontinued. Fortunately for us, you can still get quite a few of the parts. It will require, on top of the TT02R kit, Tamiya part numbers for the bumper, 51226. I ordered mine from Canada. They sent me the wrong one. They're sending me back the proper one. The lower deck, which is the most recognizable piece, because it's blue. It's the hard plastic blue. And it is part number 47339. If you can get hands on one of these are quite hard to find. But that is the most noticeable difference from the exterior of those cars for the TT02R. You'll also need two of the oil fill differentials, both of them part number 54875. For their individual part numbers, the TT02R comes with special silver shocks, and the TT02RR actually comes with black shocks. Part number 54753. And then last but not least, the reason people will be trying to sell their TT02Rs as TT02RRs is they put this kit on there. These are the adjustable upper arms, and it is kit number 54874. I will put links in the description below to all of these parts, with the exception of the blue chassis, which you can no longer find. Well, we might as well do an unboxing while we're here. This is the standard TT02R, just cracked the seal. This is how all the parts come organized in it. We got tires, a bumper, parts trees. This is the shock towers, suspension bits, some of the suspension bits, knuckles, wheels, the black chassis. That's going to go in the do not keep list. Another tree, upper suspension arms, bumpers, rear suspension arms, the stock friction shocks, the OG friction shocks. We got the tray with the motor mount, the gear cover, the battery hold down. A lot of this is going to end up not being used. We got the magic bag that has all the stuff in it with the TT02R stuff. We've got the chassis decals with all the heat warnings, the TT02R instruction manual, and an antenna tube. Okay, this stuff here, the super special motor mount. The motor mount on these are quite special. In fact, they're different than any of the other TT02 mounts, and you can't even buy them separate on the market. For the TT02, the motor mount comes pre-marked for the 68 tooth spur gear, and it's countersunk instead of the replacement aluminum mount, which is set up for button head screws instead of countersunk screws. Alright, you'll notice the numbers are different. Alright guys, let's crack open this kit and start separating out what we need and what we don't. I'll probably film the rest on time-lapse, and I'll slow it down if we have any issues that I feel like we need to discuss.
Bitch, 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 yeah, this is
Alright guys, we're about 3 hours deep on this, maybe a little less. It does take a while to put together the oil bits, and then to pick out all the extra parts and fill in around, because having the O-rings and the dog holes causes the arms to go up before you've reached a negative camber situation. So I was just messing around with that. This is where I'm at. Started around 7:30, it is now 10:45, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm about 3.5 hours deep on this, and I've gone from step 0 to right around step 24. Alright guys, well, there she is, all assembled. And wouldn't you know it, on my way home from work today, I noticed in the mailbox the correct front bumper came. This is the bumper number 51226 versus the stock original Type R bumper. You see it's the fatter bumper. So while I was building this car, I did find a couple more differences that I really didn't expect. Those differences are that the RR does not come with the blue anodized turnbuckles like the Type R. It comes with black steel turnbuckles. I also noticed that the R kit only comes with grub screws and ball nuts for the front shocks, not the rear. The RR comes with grub screws and ball studs for the front and rear. It uses a 12mm grub screw in the rear and a 10mm grub screw in the front. And I also believe that it might be the black low friction balls that come with the RR kit. But I'm not 100% certain, and at this point I'm kind of done with my build. I'm not able to get the correct turnbuckles anymore. So some of the things that I did different than the kit is, instead of installing the scoop and fan mount and switch mount, I'm using this Tamiya blue anodized heatsink. I use the correct shock fluid front and rear. I also use the team associated green slime on all of the diff O-rings and all of the shock O-rings. Some of the mistakes that I made while I was assembling this kit was, initially I had assembled the rear shocks, the 3-hole piston instead of the 1-hole piston, and the kit specifies to use the 1-hole piston in the rear and the 3-hole piston in the front. So I had to reassemble these shocks. I had also added extra O-rings to the diff cup. You only need the O-ring on the sub-axle side of that assembly. I did use a little bit of Losi black high pressure grease in all the turnbuckles and in a couple places to get the screws going smooth. For tips and tricks while assembling these TT02s, definitely around the suspension arms, the lugs that go into the chassis, a lot of times, and this one has it pretty good, the ridge here on the front and the parting line from the mold. So what I like to do is smooth out that ridge on the lug that goes in the chassis and clear it out from around the front and back of the control arm, because on the mounting blocks, you might be able to see it here, on the mounting blocks there's also a parting line, and what happens is as that arm rotates past that, they can catch, and that can cause some binding. Another trick for assembling these cars is anytime you're putting on a component near the suspension, if it's real close, like if you over tighten this or over tighten the shock tower or over tighten any of these bumper hardwares, the suspension arms won't move freely under their own weight, and you do want to limit that binding as much as possible. Thanks for following along this build. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see me run this car against the standard TT02 and a standard TT-02R. And we're gonna run all three of those cars against the TT-02 Type SRX. We're gonna see which one is the top dog. The TT-02RR kit is the one for TT-02 racing because it does generally qualify for TT-02 classes for box stock competition, and it actually comes with the oil-filled discs, so you're able to do a lot more tuning with this car than you can a standard TT-02. Obviously with a TT-02, about all you have is regular gearing, and you can maybe put the high-speed gearing in it. But with the TT-02R and the TT-02RR, you can change your shock fluid front and rear, you can can change the pistons so that the shocks act a little bit different. And then with the TT-02RR, since you have oil-filled diffs front and rear, you can actually adjust the diff fluid to be able to match the track and hook up a little bit better. And then with the TT-02RR, you also have the added adjustability of having the control arms, the upper control arms, be adjustable, so you can have some camber. And with the TT-02R and the TT-02RR, you also are able to center your servo a little better with this turnbuckle, and you're able to adjust toe in or toe out in the front with these turnbuckles, which is not available on a standard TT-02. All right, guys, again, thanks for watching. You guys all have a safe weekend. Peace.